The secret side of me, I never let you see. I keep it caged, but I can't control it. So stay away from me, the beast is ugly. I feel the rage and I just can't hold it. It's scratching on the walls, in the closet, in the halls. It comes awake and I can't control it. Hiding under the bed, in my body, in my head. Why won't somebody come and save me from this? Make it end. I feel it deep within, it's just beneath the skin. I must confess that I feel like a monster. I hate what I've become, the nightmare's just begun. I must confess that I feel like a monster. I feel like a monster.
live on Shaggy TV from the great state of Pennsylvania. The Keystone State, baby. This is where Shaggy was made up here. I've yet to go to Lernerville. Definitely will be in the books. That's more towards the Pittsburgh side of the state. Will definitely make my way out there, but man, when you play in the clay in PA, that's a different way to do it, a different breed of people up here, man. We live, eat, and breathe this stuff, and these guys put all they have into it, and we're going to see them have to do that here. Lernerville, man, you ain't going to get no help. No wall on the outside. It's left it wide open, and I'll tell you what, Expert Insulation, Swan Speed Shop, if you're going to sponsor a series, this is where you want your drivers to come. You're going to get some of the best racing action that a winged sprint car can give you. And right now we're seeing Devin Hauer, man, the big slow. You know, you flirt around with the outside, and it can get you putt-putt here in the 51. We'll see how long he can tame the beast here. Now, obviously, driver's going to be playing around with different lines here, really testing the limits, but Clay using every inch of that racetrack right now. Gonna go to the bottom here in 1 and 2. Let's see who else we got here. We got Dylan Kinsey rolling around. Logan Wentz right in front of him in that 18 machine. Lots of guys experimenting here. You know, we'll probably see the slider line come in. I know guys gonna be a name to some drivers. Blake Chapman, very good, running a slider line here at the Lernerville Speedway, and I'm sure before it's all said and done, we're going to see that, especially in qualifying, but I don't always know what I'm talking about, so I have to see here. Not a lot of drivers so far in the session, only 13, but our current point leader is in the session. That's Joseph Grandy, man, 100 grand in the 518. I click him on the broadcast. He goes up and over, he joins the yellow fence down there. He doesn't want to do that during the race tonight, that's for sure. Oh, man, Dylan Kinsey, okay, all right. We'll see what kind of what kind of power do I have? Like, you know, this is, when you click on someone like that and they keep wrecking, that almost gives you a bit of that, what do they call it, a God complex. But look, Sam Bachman, let's see. Don't go over. Ooh, oh, man, I thought he was going over. I was afraid I wasn't going to be able to click on anyone here tonight because, I mean, if I'm giving them that kind of luck, nobody wants me to click on him, especially going around qualifying. Let's see here. Dylan Kinsey, he's pulling out on the racetrack again. Logan Wentz in the 18. Holy crap. Holy crap. All right, Sam Bachman is the only one who broke the curse so far. This is not looking good. We may have to just keep her locked into the blimp qualifying. I can't have this on my conscience. You got Dean Reynolds, Brandon Dittmer, Gavin Chatham. They're registered for the session, so that's 3 more. You're only seeing 12 drivers on that list. Make it 15 now. Dino, Brandon, and Gavin joining the party. Let's see here. The Spider Monkey, actually, he's out on the racetrack. The 83 of Brandon Dittmer. He's a guy, I'm not kidding. You know, maybe you won't think of him in the points discussion, winning the points. You better think about this guy winning the race here tonight. If Brandon gets this car under control, it's open setups here. So if he can get the race car under control, you know, maybe hit up his teammate there, the high side banger, Patrick Spangler over there at Training Wheels Racing. And he's got maybe something good under the hood tonight, not 83, because you watch out. Brandon Dittmer, when he keeps it on the racetrack at Lernerville, he is always up there in the top 5, and wouldn't be surprised to see this guy up here either, man. You guys have been watching him here. You know, he owns the Super Dirt Car Series. You always think about him with modifieds. Well, he's found a new hobby, and it's putting a wing on a car and going out here and beating the hell out of people, because Dino has just all of a sudden over this last year, I mean, he has just excelled in these sprint cars, whether it be a 410 or a 360. I don't mess around with the 305s. I don't know if he does either. They're go-karts. Who really cares? But Dean, man, he he has really found a niche here in the sprint cars, and look for Dino to compete here tonight as the 99 of the Dark Knight, Gavin Chatham. Well, he pulls a bit of a wheelie, and the curse continues. Now you're looking at Caleb Schellenberg out here in the 91. I could have had this up for you guys. My apologies. I blank on that sometimes. I get to... Oh, no. I sent another driver over the edge. I'm telling you, we just got to... We got to try to reassure ourselves and just say that they're pushing track limits, really trying to find the edge here because, you know, these guys run in the middle. I think they're safe. Oh, no. Never mind. I thought Anthony was going to enter in a little higher. I was worried. Anthony, no, he's hooking up right now in the middle. You see that second cushion developing a little bit. And, well, I was going to go in the right front and show us that. But we run out of time here in warm-ups. 100 grand your quick time. Watson, Morano, Patton, and Brown, your top 5. Let's go ahead. Let's see who that first race car is out on the track here for qualifying, and it's looking like it's going to be your point leader there in the 518. 100 grand Joseph Grandy comes out on the racetrack. Let's watch lap number 1. You'll see drivers come out, run this high side as close to the edge they can, bring as much speed for that opening lap, and I have to see what Grandy likes. If he wants to run the outside, he's going to cut down. He's going to run that Morano middle line we kind of saw about, float up. Coming out of 2, Grandy going to do the same thing in 3 and 4. Go a little lower, foot up, catch the cushion, and right now Joseph Grandy is going to be quick time, but for how long? Not very long. The Ant-Man Anthony Morano comes around, beats him by 100th of a second, 32, currently at the top of the charts. Anthony comes around this second lap and actually improves a little more. You're not going to see that there. It's going to stay at the 2.6 range because it still is, but improved by a couple thousandths of a second did the 32 of Anthony Morano. See Clay Christopherson here as he's on lap number 1. Oh, I told you too. I warned you about the Spider Monkey qualified P2. This is one of his racetracks, man. I know these guys and I know their tendencies. Clay Christopherson, he'll be one of those guys come the feature, he'll probably try to work the bottom. He can run the high side, don't get me wrong, but boy, oh boy, is he comfortable on the bottom is Caleb Schellenberg. Purple Sector 1. What's it look like coming across the line? Schellenberg, P2. Move on over, Brandon Dittmer. See that 3.24 to the 3.25 there. Morano, your quick time. Oh, but not for long. The Dark Knight comes out of the shadows and steals it with a minute left here in qualifying. Gavin Chatham, welcome to the pole here in Lernerville or in Sarver, PA, at the Lernerville Speedway. Boy, oh boy, and well, I know you probably heard that in the background. That's my apologies. I didn't realize I had Facebook open. So we will close that and make sure and mute that tab. I don't want to hear the ping the whole time. That's on me. Normally a little better than that. Caught sleeping as well as have to see Jeff Barker maybe wanting to start in the back here, or maybe he's caught sleeping. We have 17 drivers, 16 have put in a time. Gavin Chatham, Anthony Morano, Caleb Schellenberg, your top 3. Dittmer and Grandy round out the top 5 here as we get ready to do a little heat racing here at the Lernerville Speedway. As soon as we roll over here, we'll get a chance to look at that starting lineup. Just playing a little hard to get right now. There we go. Heat race number 1 for your Swan Speed Shop Expert Insulation Sunday Night Madness All-Stars here at the Lernerville Speedway. Row 3 to the outside. The 18 of Logan Wentz to the inside. The General in the 87, Andy Patton. Row 2 to the outside. The 79 of Dean Reynolds to his inside. The 007. And 2-time C2C champion last week. Congratulations. Give it up to the driver of the 007, Sam Bachman. Row number one for heat race number one here this evening to the outside. My dark horse tonight, in the 083, the Spider Monkey, Brandon Dittmer. And starting on the pole, the 99 of the Dark Knight, Gavin Chatham. Telling you though, it's not very often, you've watched me do these things, that I will just say, hey, I like this driver here this evening. But Brandon Dittmer, man, he's one of those guys that when he can hit a racetrack he's comfortable with and keep it on, man, he is tough to beat here, and we'll have to see what he's got as the green flag's high. It's ready to fly. Heat race number one is underway. Gavin with a good jump here. The Spider Monkey may be caught sleeping. Dino taking advantage of a good run on the outside. He goes from fourth to third here in the early stages. And Dino, he's flirting up there on the outside, almost goes over. And the General, Andy Patton, fifth to third here. The General trying to get that 87 rolling on the bottom. He's having some success here. The Spider Monkey jumps the cushion, and boy, it is tricky up there in the top in 3 and 4. Possibly where you want to be in 1 and 2. But meanwhile, Gavin Chatham, see ya. He's checked out here at the Lernerville Speedway. Dino, man, he's moved on up to P2. He's got a quick race car, and I jinxed the Spider Monkey here, man. It's a tricky top 3 and 4, and you just see him. He keeps losing that rear end. He's staying dedicated to it for the time being, but Dittmer, he may have to move on down a lane in 3 and 4. You see those two in front of him mimicking the leader out front, Gavin Chatham, on the bottom as we're 3 to go. And Brandon Dittmer under pressure here for the 4th position. Logan Wentz took a look on the inside, but just can't get it to hook up. And now Dittmer, he slams the door shut in 3 and 4. 2 to go. Gavin all by himself out front as we show you the gaps instead of the lap times. A 2-second lead as he takes the white flag. Dean Reynolds trying to hold on to second, but the General, man, he's like a dragon breathing down his throat here as we roll through 3 and 4. Gavin takes home heat race number 1. The General steals P2 at the line. Dean Reynolds 3rd, Dittmer 4th, Bachman 5th, and Logan Wentz rounds out the field. Gonna see here, you're probably gonna see the overlay disappear there for a second because well, if you thought you guys had a little bit of a hiccup there in the beginning, boy, mine was a little more difficult to see here. So we're gonna let this load back up. We've got that back up, and now we will bring up the starting lineup here for heat race number 2. Row 3 to the outside, the Brewerton Beast and the 513, Jeff Barker to the inside. The 639 of Dylan Kinsey. Sorry, not too sure why that refreshed again. Row 2 to the outside, the 316 of the big slow Devin Howard to the inside, the 56 of Aaron Brown. Row 1 to the outside, the 518 of 100 grand, Joseph Grandy, and starting on the pole in the 32, the Magic Ant-Man, Anthony Morano. There we go. It didn't need to refresh it that time, so hopefully that worked. As the green flag's high, it's ready to fly. Heat race number 2 is underway. Great jump for the Ant-Man out front as Joseph Grandy tries to take advantage, goes to the bottom here, but not where you want to be, I don't think, in 1 and 2, as they both go to that top shelf. They think they've got something Dittmer couldn't find, but welcome to P2, Aaron Brown. He went where we saw the dominance, and he moves on up to P2 for the moment. 100 grand goes off the edge. That's your point leader. As Joseph Grandy goes from 2nd to 6th here in 2 laps. The Ant-Man out front. Devin Howard, P2, as he gets by Aaron Brown. Big move through 3 and 4. Aaron Brown not going to go away, though, in that 56. Going to take a peek downstairs. Oh, went off there. Dylan Kinsey in the 639. He goes over in 3 and 4. And no caution here in the heat races will continue. Anthony Morano wages out front as you see Devin Howard slowly reeling in his teammate, but he's running out of time. Only 3 laps to go here. Anthony Morano sees those 2 fingers this time by. He is your leader. But Devin Howard, the quickest car last time around by 0.2 of a second. I'm trying to get my overlay to come up here. Can't get mine. I've got to keep looking at your screen. White flag flies. One more trip around. Anthony Morano, final time through 3 and 4. He's going to see the checkered flag this time. And he wins heat race number 2, followed by Devin Howard, Aaron Brown, Joseph Grandy, Jeff Barker, and Dylan Kinsey. Boy, oh boy, what is going on here in the land of my computer? Keep reloading, keep closing. I'm gonna bring up your starting grid here. I can read this off here and then I'll finagle with it some more. Your final heat race number 3 to the inside, the 28 of Brandon Combs of row number 3. Row 2 to the outside, putt-putt Clay Christopherson to the inside, Bart William Watson in the 88. Row 1 for heat race number 3 to the outside, the 118 of Brandon Geisweit, and starting on the pole, the 91 of Caleb Schellenberg. Keeps coming up for you guys, absolutely no problem, which is awesome. But man, oh man, that is a small screen for me to try to watch this thing on. So I'll try this one more time, but hey, I have to. That's the way it goes. Let's see here. Nope, there we go. Got it to come up. Magic. Same thing I did 4 other times in a row here. And look, they're even going to go around one more time for a pace lap for me. That's how friendly these guys are, guys. We got it working. It's ready to go, and well, I appreciate you thinking of me here. Got 5 drivers set to round out. Everybody gonna make the feature here this evening, but you know we're racing for grid spots. And right now I talked about Grandy winning the points. He had a 10-point lead over the driver in the 51 here, Clay Christopherson. So Clay would love to take advantage there of that tough start for $100,000 as we roll through 3 and 4. The green flag's high. It's ready to fly. 8 to play in the clay here at Lernerville Speedway. William with a rough start there on the inside of 1 and 2. Can't get in front of the 118 of Brandon Geisweit. It looked like, well, he actually started 3rd, but it looked like he was going to be able to pull that off. And for the moment, Geisweit able to hold on, but the 88 going to try to come back as hard as he can here as Caleb Schellenberg paces the field. He goes to the outside of 3 and 4, leaves the door open for the 118, but Brandon Geisweit just can't capitalize. Back to the inside, going down the backstretch here. Schellenberg going to stay to the outside, trying to find that cushion. He holds enough grip in the rear end. Oh, there's contact going into 1. Schellenberg goes for a ride, ends up on the lid, and Brandon Geisweit is your new leader here at the Lernerville Speedway. Clay Christopherson, he moves on up into P2 now after the little kerfuffle, and William Watson holding firm in his starting spot position. P3, Brandon Combs. We know him as a late model driver, not necessarily a sprint car driver, but he is out here burning it down here at Lernerville, and good to see Brandon Combs out here with the boys. 2 laps to go this time by for the 118 of Geisweit. Geisweit knows, you know, maybe starting spot a little more important than some other guys leading on here. It's maybe easy to pass, pretty wide, but man, if you can get to the outside, if the outside's dominant, you burn it down the way Geisweit is, it's going to be tough to get around. Final time through 3 and 4. The 118 sees the checkered flag. He's followed by Putt-Putt, Watson, Combs, and Schellenberg after the contact rounds out the field. Okay, so we had been doing things a little different here. You know, we had Scotty coming up before, but, you know, we had drivers sometimes maybe missing it because they were going to the bathroom. So the new deal is we roll throughout the year. First 3 minutes, welcome to be on the racetrack. When you see that thing get to the 2-minute marker, drivers are going to pull off. They're going to go refill those drinks, hop out of the seat for a minute or two, stretch, and get right back in before they're ready to roll. So that's going to be the new deal. We're going to stick around here with track cams and whatnot. But, I'll probably mute myself for the majority of these warm-ups, rest the old throat, and get ready for some racing action. So stick around, and we'll be racing here soon at the Lernerville Speedway. Now, once again, huge shout out to Expert Installation and Swan Speed Shop. We don't get to put any of this on without those guys stepping up with the sponsorship. And I do believe Swan Speed Shop also giving out base setups for some of these open races. And how cool is that, man? Putting all the drivers who maybe don't have a good setup out there on some equal footing. You see drivers slow on down and going to be getting them off the racetrack here as we've hit that 2-minute mark. They may let drivers complete the lap they're on, but we'll have them pull off here from what I understand. And looking like here, that's what we're getting. These drivers driving off into the pits here. And we're going to chill around here for about 1:30 or so before we go play in the clay here some more. I wish I could cheat the system here and bring up the starting grid a while. There is no way that I can do that, or any way that I have discovered that I can do this. We're just gonna sit around and hang out for a little bit. Let's see. Do we have any good scenic cameras? That is a terrible scenic camera. They just highlighted the tire. Well, actually, you know what? They highlighted the tire. I can respect to the tractor tire. Let's see here. We got the scoreboard and victory lane. So I'm assuming this is pit road exit. No way did they give us 2 scenic cameras. This is unbelievable. This is what we have to rotate from. Okay, now we're getting a better view of the tractor tire. Very exciting cameras. iRacing, they did these scenic cameras. They went all out. See, now this is what I'm talking about. What's 2 of the tire? Come on. Some of your best drivers like Dino, if they feel like it, They know how to launch themselves right into the stands over there in 3 and 4. You just drive that thing straight over the hill. Hopefully we don't see anybody do that tonight in the feature. That's something, we might have saw in warm-ups, but hopefully we don't see any of that in the feature. Hopefully the guys behave here and get along for the most part. But we get a look finally at that starting grid. We got 17 drivers ready to start this thing, and rounding them all out in that 639 is Dylan Kinsey. Row 8 to the outside, the 18 of Logan Wentz. To the inside, the 91 of Caleb Schellenberg. Row 7 to the outside in the 513, the Brewerton Beast. Jeff Barker to the inside, the 007 of Sam Bachman. Row 6 to the outside in the 28, Brandon Combs. To the inside, the 518 of 100 grand, Joseph Grandy. Row 5 on the outside, the 083 of the Spider Monkey, Brandon Dittmer. To the inside, the 88 of William Watson. Row 4 to the outside, the 56 of Aaron Brown. To the inside, the 79 of Dean Reynolds. Row 3 to the outside, the 51 of Putt Putt, Clay Christofferson. And on the inside, in the 316, the big slow Stone Cold Devin Howard. Row 2 to the outside, in the 87, the General Andy Patton. On the inside, the 118 of the Excel Sim Sports driver, Brandon Geiswhite. Row 1 for your Swan Speed Shop Expert Insulation Sunday Night All-Stars 360 Sprint Cars at the Lernerville Speedway. Starting on the outside, the 32 of the Ant-Man, Anthony Morano. And starting on the pole, the 99 of the Dark Knight, Gavin Chatham. As we get ready to go play here at Lernerville Speedway, 30 laps to bring home the checkered flag as the green flag's high. It's ready to fly. The 99 drops the hammer, and we're ready to play at Lernerville Speedway. Good jump there for Gavin. He's gone off your screen. Big pile up behind. Big pile up. Dino involved. Lots of cars involved. And man, oh man, we're going to have to rewind this, try to break it down. I couldn't see who was involved first. Let's see here if we can get a little better view here. We're watching the General Andy Patton on the outside. So you see Anthony, he gets a little sideways in front. And that made it, Andy want to come down. Lane's clear. Dino wasn't ready, though. He throws the slider. Nowhere for Barker to go. Nowhere for Logan Wentz to go. Dylan Kinsey in the 639. You see he's involved a little bit. But, man, carnage early here at the Lernerville Speedway. Right now, we're going to pace around here a little bit. And Brandon Geiswhite, he just noticed he wrote in the chat there, said he hasn't raced these in a while. Could have fooled us here. Running around in the top 3. Some pretty good company in these 360 sprint cars. We'll have to see if he can keep it up and bring home the podium finish. But remember, after this, we got to go play some more, man. We're going to a place called Kokomo with the tires in the small block, big block modified. So after this, you don't go anywhere, man. You stick right here on Shaggy TV, and well, you possibly let me know who is winning the NASCAR race from time to time, because at some point we're waiting to put the money on Kyle Larson. We're gonna wait a little bit, but Larson's gonna get it at some point in time during the live betting. That's what's gonna happen. Lights are off on the Steve King Well, sorry about that, boys. You know where I get that from. This is just the normal pace car. I don't think it would bother them if I called it that, but not a sponsor here. But they are racers in the league where it's called that, so I'm sure they would understand here. As we'll see the pace truck pull off here. And Gavin Chatham, man, he's going to rip that top. He's set to drop the hammer. Ooh, he's going to go late here. He's going to go late. No, we're going to delay it. We're not ready to go. We're going to delay it. And what this means, they're going to have to wait a while because the pace car, you see him coming out of pit exit. It is a long trip around for the pace truck here. So, very long way to go. And all this should adjust too. If you've noticed, caution laps have been counting on our ticker, and you see Brandon saying scoring issue. Yeah, Brandon, they didn't accidentally possibly leave caution laps on, did they? And you're seeing something different than me, because if they did have caution laps count, drivers are going to go laps down there when they're in pit road. So hopefully that's not the issue. And hopefully when we go back green here, that sometimes the first lap caution will do that to this scoring software. And maybe it'll change it. But yeah, as of now, you see it clicks down now to 24. And the laps for us continue to count. So we'll have to see what the plan is. And worst comes to worst, they fire up another one. I'm not too sure how they do that, if they would set the grid here and figure with a certain amount of laps left. Or what would be the plan here? And I'm probably saying all this for nothing, because I have the feeling when they go back green, it maybe gets itself sorted out. But you never know here. Lights are back off on the pace truck. We'll see if we go back racing this time. The pace truck does pull off. Gavin Chatham rolls the top side, and gonna see if he can drop the hammer and bring us back to the green flag. We're back underway at the Lernerville Speedway. And we're gonna hope that that scoring chart updates in a lap or two. It normally takes a bit to re-kick itself, but if it doesn't, it doesn't, and that's the way it's gonna be here tonight. No, yeah, see, now we're getting laps back. It's going to start fixing itself, I think. Because it's got, for us, Dean Reynolds and Jeff Barker in the lead on this thing. So it'll have to cycle itself out. There we go. It's all fixed. And Gavin Chatham back to his rightful spot at the top of the leaderboards. And Caleb Schellenberg looking to the inside, and he's got a screaming fast 316 coming on the outside. And looky who, I told you if he could keep it together, he's going to flirt with this top five. And the Spider Monkey, welcome to the party here, taking a peek for sixth. Can he find a way around the driver of the 316? For the moment, he's going to think about a slide job. He throws it up there. Devin trying to take a peek down low. Does he throw a slider? No, he likes the bottom, and 3 and 4 are going to stay there. And for the moment, Devin Hauer holds on. Andy Patton keeps trying to take a peek here at Anthony Morano in the 32, but we know how good the Ant-Man is, man. He's all about consistency, and Gavin Chatham out front. He's got a 3-second lead, one of the best 360 sprint car driver these guys have ever laid eyes on, and he's not willing to go over the top here tonight either. He's going to keep it on the bottom, low and slow here at the Lernerville Speedway. Going to pay dividends. Schellenberg, he's up 11 spots. Started this thing 15th. Schellenberg, can he get one more? Can he get that thing onto the podium? Remember, there's a little bit of contact in his heat race, I believe, and well, he's already gotten around that man who made the contact, but he'd love to find a way to get that thing on the podium. Is starting to see here. So Dean Reynolds and Jeff Barker, somehow they are a lap down. Not too sure how that ended up happening to them, but they are trapped a lap down. Brandon Geiswhite still holding on to a top 5 at the moment, but Brandon Dittmer was able to clear Devin Howard. Oh no, Dittmer! Up over the cushion, around on the racetrack. Oh, contact. He ends up on all 4s. But that might be it for the driver of the 83. Brandon Dittmer goes around, jumps the cushion. See if we can get a replay here. So we're going to see. I may have the perfect camera for this. So we're going to see Brandon enter our picture here. You can see Schellenberg there, how close he is to the cushion, but Dittmer just oversteps and boom, into the wall. Brandon Dittmer up and over here. I told you, I know his tendencies. He was going to be quick up top, but he had to keep it on the racetrack, and it's a tough break there for the Spider Monkey. He's going to be wishing he could have that one back. See here, Gavin Chatham still your leader. We're hoping Dino and Barker with that wave around. It's got him on the lead lap right now. Seeing from Grandy, he caught some damage here. Let's see if we can take a look here. Get any. Left side looks pretty good. Bar doesn't look too bent on the front. Have to see how it goes for him here. As we roll through 3 and 4, the 99 set to bring us back to racing here at the Lernerville Speedway. 17 laps to play in the clay as we're back underway. See Devin almost jumped that cushion, and they're 3 wide behind him. Putt-putt on the outside, trying to make it work there. The Combs Cup machine of the 28 driver, Brandon Combs, makes a little contact with William Watson. William's got to go down to the inside. He floats it up, and man, now William, he's got to find his place in line here and hope things settle down. But the Ant-Man, he stayed a little closer to Gavin here this time, and is Gavin just playing around with him here? As you see him go back to the inside, he opens up that can a little more. Welcome Caleb Schellenberg for the moment to the top 3 as he tiptoes on the outside around the 87. Caleb Schellenberg, could we see him compete for a win here this evening? He's running out of laps. 14 laps to get it done, 13 this time by. Anthony trying to reel in his teammate in that 99. Gavin is glued to that bottom through 1 and 2. Starting to dance upstairs through 3 and 4, and that's what maybe's made him a little more uncomfortable. And Anthony, though he's maybe losing some time in 1 and 2, he's got a lot more speed at the end of the straightaway. Now he throws a slide job. Battle for the lead. Caution flag waves. No! Stone Cold, the big slow, brings out a caution, I believe. And well, it wasn't him at all, actually. Or no, maybe it was him. There may have been a couple drivers involved in this one. I thought I saw him sitting on the inside. We'll see. So he gets into his teammate there in the 51, gets to the inside. And yeah, that's going to be the caution. It is what it is, I'm a big Devin Howard fan, but sometimes you get some soft ones after, you make some contact. I get it, but, we kept it straight and keep that thing rolling and keep it to the inside, and we didn't get the caution there, so we're going to pull it up a little more, come to a stop here, and you see in the background what was going on. And man, oh boy, we were spoiled there of of a good battle for the lead, but now Gavin gets a chance to reset, and if he hangs on and wins this thing, he's going to have to thank the Big Slow for that one, because man, oh man, Anthony was about 500 feet away from taking the lead at the line. That's a heartbreak. The green flag's high. It's ready to fly. 11 to play. We're back underway at the Lernerville Speedway. Schellenberg. He gets a good restart. He looks to the inside, but Anthony with a big run off of 2. Able to hold on for now, but all of a sudden, 3-car dance here. Schellenberg, Grandy involved now too. He's up into P4. And Putt doing what he does, putting around on the bottom. He's back inside the top 5. Clay taking a peek for 4th here is Anthony trying to set up his teammate, but Gavin, he's going to run the outside now through 1 and 2. And Anthony, if he's going to do it, he's got to do it now. Slide job. Gavin Chatham going to try to diamond underneath, but Anthony's got it at the line. Gavin, does he slide? Does he goes down? No, he trims the grass through 1 and 2. He gets a decent run going down the backstretch. Lots of tack. Slides up. Anthony goes over. Anthony goes over. Gavin Chatham takes the lead. Anthony Morano goes over the edge, and we're under caution again at the Lernerville Speedway. Boy, oh boy, the Ant-Man. We're going to watch him here. Come into 3. We're going to see what it looks like here. So it looks like a pretty decent entry. But just right around there, he maybe picks up the throttle a little too early, slides it up over. And Gavin Chatham takes back over the lead. Caleb Schellenberg, P2 and 100 grand. Welcome to the podium. We're waiting on that pace truck here, I believe. That's why you see drivers coming to a stop. And, well, you know, not a lot of time here. So if you got something in the tank, you got to empty it out here soon. You got to think Grandy, after having a troublesome start, getting back up here to the front, you got to keep an eye on him. Gavin, you know, he's gotten lucky here twice. Anthony's gotten around him 2 times, but a mistake by Anthony and a caution flag have let him hold on to this lead. And, well, that's really all for naught, if not for a mid-race caution. At one point, the driver of the 99 had a 3-second lead over the rest of the field. So, just shows how quick things can change, and you really got to be on your toes here. And I think we're going to see the pace truck pull off here. We will. Gavin Chatham will bring us through 3 and 4. We'll see the green flag high. As Gavin Chatham, we're going to sit here, actually watch him dive it down. We're back underway here at the Lernerville Speedway. Good restart for the driver of the 99 as we're 4 wide for P2 through 1 and 2. The Spider Monkey back in the dance now. He's down low. Brandon Dittmer taking a peek here at the podium. Oh, the Spider Monkey, man. He's trying to find some grip down there. The 83, though, nowhere to grab. He's just making it work. He's willing that thing, but, man, Joseph Grandy, too quick up top coming out of 4. As Caleb Schellenberg starts reeling in your leader. He's dancing with the devil up there in 3 and 4. Oh, man. Not 1 inch. Not 1 room for mistake here. Do we see a slide job? He stays up top. Gavin goes up there, shuts the door. Little contact in the middle of the corner. Schellenberg gonna look low. Slide job through 1 and 2. This all with 3 to go. Gavin takes back the lead as we enter 3. The Spider Monkey. He's got a big smile on his face. He's reeling him in as they battle hard. 2 laps to go. Gavin staying committed to the bottom. Schellenberg doing what he knows best, hammering down that top side. We've got the white flag coming this time. One more lap to go. Schellenberg goes to the outside. Gavin with a little slider in one. Schellenberg, all the momentum here as we go into 3 and 4. One checkered flag in the air. Final time. Oh, Gavin Chatham holds on at the line. Caleb Schellenberg, P2, and the Spider Monkey rounds out the podium. Holy freaking crap. What a finish. Here, we've got to watch that one more time. I'll tell you what, I thought it was going to be all Schellenberg, but we're going to highlight the mistake, I think, here. And not necessarily a mistake, but good defense by Gavin. So he slides up. Here is where the 2 of Schellenberg, not able to just cut down the racetrack. He gives Gavin a slight touch there. You can see it unsettle the car. And that hurts Schellenberg's momentum. Not going to clear him as much by this with this slide job. And Gavin immediately went upstairs, cuts down in the middle of the corner. What we would have liked to have seen Schellenberg do if he wanted to bring this one home. But Gavin, man, look at it. Right there. We're going to go to here. And we got to do a little work, a little magic work here. But that is how much Gavin Chatham won this race by. I mean, what is that? An 1/8 of a sprint car. Absolutely unbelievable finish here at the Lernerville Speedway. And this is one Gavin, man, he's going to remember for a long time. Let's go back, though. Let's get our final green flag run here. Let's bring the boys up for their interviews. Been waiting a long time to bring this man up for an interview over here. We got the Spider Monkey, Brandon Dittmer. I'm a big Brandon Dittmer fan. He knows that. Let's pull the Spider Monkey up here right as he's mid talk. I'm so good at doing that to you guys. Hey, Brandon, man, I'll tell you what, dude. I hate to bring the jinx on you, but when you go back and watch this thing, I said you're gonna finish in this podium if you can keep it on the racetrack. And you're one of the best on the outside, man. You were hammering it down, but it just seemed like on the outside of 3 and 4, just so freaking tricky tonight, dude.
Yeah, I had tried to stay away from that berm in 3 and 4 because it costed me second place in the heat. So I tried to go down middle, and right after I had wrecked, I'm just like, you know what? I'm just going to fully commit to the bottom, and I just drove right around everybody.
No, yeah, and, you know, we kind of saw a good view of it there, and I don't know if you noticed, you weren't the only one doing it. Through 1 and 2, it seemed like you could enter so low that, man, it's almost like you wanted to cut the grass with that left front. It would really help the car rotate and turn in the center of the corner. Is that kind of a little trick here?
Yeah, that's really how you need to go through this turn. If you want to be in that, if you want your rear tires to be in that moisture, your left front has to be dipping down into that grass, essentially. And the drive off is just so important. You almost have to tiptoe, but it pays off in such a big way.
Yeah, man, you can see that. You know, it reminded me kind of Blake Chapman here tonight, the way he just walked down low and kind of get by everybody. And, you know, maybe a couple more laps in the bank, Brandon. We're talking to you a little later because with the way those guys were racing up front, man, you were really reeling them in. But at the end of the day, a 3rd place with this field, dude, that says a lot. Hell of a job, man. You've been driving these sprint cars, one of the best out there. You earned this one. Congratulations. Who you want to thank? Unless you want to think too. You can think too, I guess. I can't tell you. Not allowed.
I don't think that much. You already know that. Not you for the broadcast, Dean and everybody at FTM for the league, everybody racing, giving great competition. Oh my God. I had work. Bowman Designs for the amazing wrap. Dean Reynolds and this World of Outlaws Super Dirt Car Series for the sponsorship on this wrap. And everybody just behind the scenes doing all the work. It's an incredible kind of fun time on Sunday night.
Well, hey, hell of a run, Brandon. We're gonna see you out here at Kokomo here in a bit.
Against my better judgment, yes.
All righty, brother. Give him hell. I'm rooting for you.
Thanks.
And now we're going to bring up the guy who, man, came oh so short. Caleb, that last lap, man, I thought you had him going down the backstretch, but it just seemed like maybe slight contact when you tried to do that crossover. And, man, that killed your momentum and maybe took away those checkers from you there at the end.
Man, first off, shout out to Chatham. That was sweet. Yeah, when I got to him on the rear, I honestly had no idea what to do on that back stretch of the last lap because I didn't know if he was just instantly going to go to the bottom to try to protect and leave me the top. So I hesitated too long, and then I had to hit the brakes, and then I don't know, the slider just I also carried way too much steam going in there in 3 and 4. I had to check up way too much. But man, that was awesome to come from the back like that. And to just keep pace with them guys, that's cool. I wish Murano wouldn't have fell off because I think that would have been a really cool three-way battle for the lead that whole entire race.
Yeah, man, you guys were having some fun up there, and it seemed like, Gavin was kind of committed to the bottom until you had a pretty good view of it. Anthony hooked up that high side, man. You were right there in tow. How tricky was it to run right up against that cushion in 3 and 4? Because, boy, oh boy, man, we saw many drivers go over tonight.
Yeah, man. Usually I'm notorious for falling off here in just about any car. So for the first 20
I'm right
laps,
there with you, Caleb.
Yeah, I was really taking it easy up there, trying to be careful. But last 10 laps, man, that's about as tricky as you can get here. I mean, there was a couple laps when I could just feel my right rear just barely, ever so slightly coming up off of it, and I was like, oh boy, here we go. But she stuck, and that was sweet. That was a really good finish.
No, yeah, man, I got a pretty good view of Anthony going off. I've got like a turn 4 track camera, and dude, you were on the absolute edge. I can't believe you didn't go off that corner. It's crazy how tricky, man, that turn 4 is, and you were just absolutely nailing it. If not for, running out of laps, I think we're talking to you a little bit later. But Caleb, you know the deal, man. You can't win them all, and sometimes you got to be happy with that P2 at the end of the day. Hell of a points night. Congratulations. Who you want to thank, brother?
All the guys at FTM for putting this on, everybody that's put in work. I don't know. That's about it, really. You for broadcasting. This is a really cool broadcast. You do a great job with that. And that's it.
Well, hey, I appreciate that, Caleb. And, man, we're going to see you come out here and play at Kokomo in a bit.
Oh, yeah, that's for sure. We're going to bang the boards up there, too.
Well, hey, I forgot to ask Brandon because I suck at my job. But is there any thought here? Do you think about a small block in the next one, or are we going big block?
I'm a firm believer in the big block's always going to dominate. So I'm going big block because I'm going to hammer that sumbitch up top.
Dude, I'm right there with you. But then every time you get that 051 in a small block driving right underneath me, I can't stand it. And I just start cursing myself. But, hey, Caleb, I'll be wishing you luck, man. Hopefully I'm talking to you again, brother. Give him hell.
Yeah, thank you.
That's Caleb Schellenberg, your P2 finisher. And now we're going to bring up the man of the hour here, Gavin. I'll tell you what, man. You had to earn this thing. It got pretty exciting. You're battling with Anthony. We get a caution. Then you're battling with Anthony, and he goes over, man. Where'd you hide the horseshoe tonight, brother?
I can't reveal my secrets for that horseshoe was hidden tonight, but it was definitely on our side for sure because I about did everything to give that thing away. Congrats to Anthony. He had a phenomenal race car tonight or this afternoon, and a heck of a job by him to drive it through. I was looking forward to battling him for the win, and then he made a slight mistake there and went over. So and then then Caleb was giving me a heck of a run for money, and shout out to him. And I know Dittmer was there as well. Shout out to all those guys for an awesome run. We were. You know what? I was so good on the bottom. I felt so good, and I put such a gap on those guys. And I didn't want to see
3 seconds. We're going to talk about that. 3 seconds. I mean, what goes through your head when that damn caution flag flies? Because let's be honest, okay, this was a great finish. It was. You had to work for it. But if that thing stays green, Gavin, nobody stands a chance at catching this 99, brother. You were gone.
That's what's. I mean, that's part of racing. Though sometimes it works out in your favor, and sometimes it doesn't. Everyone else wanted to see the caution, but I didn't. But yeah, we had a 3-second lead, and I started watching my relative, and I seen that Anthony was. I gained a tenth, and then he'd gain a tenth back on me. So I was like, when that caution came out, I definitely was like, okay, we're gonna have ourselves a race, and Anthony definitely had a fast hot rod for sure. And then it just sucks. It always seems to work out that way. When you want one, you don't get it, and when you don't want one, you get it. And but yeah, the car felt so so good on the bottom. I didn't want to leave it, and I kept hitting the bottom right in 1 and 2, and then it kind of, I think I started messing up a little bit, because then I'd hit it right and pull him, and then I'd miss it, and then he'd pull me, and I'm thinking, oh crap, the top's the way to be, and usually it is at Lernerville. But I just couldn't hit the top. I could not hit the top at all. I searched around, maybe trying the middle a little bit. That's what even the last couple laps there, I was trying to just be so conservative, just trying to get a good enough run to keep Caleb behind me, and he was able to. I didn't get a good run off of 2, and he was able to slide me. And I figured I had the momentum coming back down the hill. Was just very easy on the throttle, patient on the throttle, and was able to just inch him out at the line. I think if the start finish line was about 50 yards further down the racetrack, I think you might have a different guy in victory lane.
Yeah, coulda, woulda, shoulda, though. And, I couldn't really tell here. We're going to get a view of it, I guess, in about a minute because these replays are so slow. But on that last lap, you probably would have known if you got a 0X or something. Did he maybe make a little contact with you when he tried to make that move going down the backstretch? Because to me, it looked like he had a big run, but just maybe turned down a little too late. And I think, man, that's what, kind of killed it for him if I saw it right.
He might have. I honestly, I have no idea. I was just so focused on making sure I hit the corner the best that I could, to make sure I got at least a good run to the start finish line. We might have made contact. I don't know, but whatever happened on the last lap, it sure as heck set up for a really awesome finish between us both. But yeah, I was just honestly so focused on making sure I didn't screw up that last corner, at least giving myself a shot to, because it's very easy to overshoot it. And I'll be honest, when he went in there, he really carried it in there. And I thought for sure that he was actually going to send it over. And I was like, okay, we got it. He's going to send it over, and the car stuck, and he was able to get back in it. And when we had that drag race down to the finish line.
Well, yeah, and we're watching it actually right now, and the big difference, man. And I want to ask you how you did this so well. You biked that thing around in the middle of the corner and just absolutely diamonded it. And if he would have been able to do that to you in 1 and 2, we're maybe talking to him at the end. But man, dude, the way you just predicted that slide job and cut down, dude, that's how you bring home another checkered flag. How'd you do that so well?
It's just seat time, honestly. It's just seat time and not getting excited behind. Everyone wants to get excited and stab the gas pedal, and I've definitely, I've done that plenty of times myself and lost races like that where you get excited and you just stab the gas pedal and the wheels spin and you lose all your momentum. So it's just seat time and being patient and just running these cars a lot. I put a lot of time into running the sprint cars, probably more than anything else. So just the experience, I guess, from it. But just you got to keep telling yourself, be patient, and it is a tough thing to do. You want to hit when you're going drag race with somebody down to the line. You want to hit the gas pedal so hard you think it's going to help you, and it actually hurts you. So yeah, I was just little voice in my brain kept saying just easy, 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 and it definitely worked out for us.
Yeah, man, it did. You bring home a checkered flag, and congratulations on that, brother. Hopefully we can see you a lot more out here on the Sundays. Enjoy having you. Congratulations on the win, brother. Who you want to thank?
I just want to thank you, Shaggy, for doing an awesome job with the broadcast. Always a pleasure to come up and talk to you. I just want to thank FTM, all the guys that my teammates and everybody that goes ahead and puts this series on. I didn't realize that they're running 360s today, and I realized I probably should run this one, or else I'm gonna probably get yelled at. So, and then on top of that, probably not winning the thing, I probably would have got yelled at again. No, but those guys are great over there at FTM, and I hope we can get a lot of them in the right direction with the sprint cars. I know that's something that we're trying to do and help them out. And
enough of them beat me. Don't get any more of them as good as you. Please don't.
We're trying to help. I'm okay, Shaggy. I'm not great. I feel like I'm middle of the road sprint car driver. But,
I've watched you beat Blake Chapman by 4 seconds. So go preach that BS somewhere else.
We're trying to get the FTM guys, better at the sprint cars, and it takes time, obviously. But those guys are doing awesome over there, and just being able to help them out also is just awesome. But I want to thank FTM. I want to thank Swan Speed Shop, Super Dirt Car Series, Velocity Race Design, Northeast Outlaw Motorsports, Chatham Motorsports, Mike Schick Motorsports Design, Velocity Race Design. I just want to thank all the sponsors, all the help. I just want to thank the fans for coming out and watching this series. And I hope that was a really good race for y'all. And I just want to thank my fans as well for watching the races and supporting.
Yeah, man, we've had phenomenal finishes here every week, and just add this one to the top of the list. Hell of a run, Gavin. Can't wait to see what you do here. Are we bringing out a small block or a big block?
I'm probably going to miss this one. I'm going to focus on that NARC race tonight, so we won't be seeing me in the big blocks tonight. It's full.
That's
full
the 410s, right? That's the 410s, right?
It's the 410s, and me and Dino and we're gonna go tackle that, and hopefully we can improve on our 8th and ninth from a couple weeks ago, and keep trucking forwards in that.
Well, hey, go get him, man. I'll be rooting for you.
All right, thanks, Shaggy.
That's Gavin Chatham, your winner here in the 360 Sprint Cars. We're going to step away for a minute or two, bring up the other session, and we're going to get ready to go racing at Kokomo. Stick around here on Shaggy TV. That was the wrong intermission screen. My apologies. We'll be right back. We're back live on Shaggy TV for the Expert Insulation Swan Speed Shop. Big block, small block madness here for your Sunday night portion, and it's going to be a good one here. Let's see if we can find, I noticed he wrote in the chat there, Brandon, he said he was unveiling a new paint job. Well, he's inside of another race car, so we're not going to get to really see that paint job, Brandon. But I know you may have the broadcast open. If you would like to pull that thing open, I know you guys are on like a 20-second delay behind what I'm actually saying. I'll park it here for a minute or so if you want to get that thing out there. Interested to see that. The 88 machine there, William Watson, he pulls out on the racetrack. No, it's looking like maybe he's stepped away here. We got Dalton here. Now, from what I understand, Dalton, and somebody here in the chat, please yell at me. But from what I understand, Dalton, little brother to Dylan, okay? That's what I'm understanding. Dylan, you'll hear me call him DJ. He's not here, it doesn't look like, for this race. The little brother Dalton here in the 82, he's rolling around, and we got the tires in. So you're going to see a lot of guys rolling low and slow here. And, oh, he gets into the 51 there, gives him a little bump. Let's take this time, actually, because we have till 6 o'clock. So I'll probably mute myself here in a little bit, but let's take a look at some of these drivers' paint jobs. I got a little zoomed in camera. So we got the 639 out here. And I do have trading paints open, correct? Make sure. I don't want to have anyone's paints be over. We're actually, while we're screwing around, should have been the refresh, not for the roll bar. But apparently Control R now has me go to my roll bar. Pretty crazy. Does it again. That's pretty awesome. I'm telling you, that's supposed to be refresh for trading paints. It's going to be hilarious. If I'm trying to refresh trading paints throughout my career here and it keeps doing that, I'm gonna have to figure out what's making that happen here. Let's see, can I do it from here? Ooh, I can. So you're gonna see some paints disappear here probably, and then maybe reappear. Here's Geiswhite actually in that 118. Nice looking paint job there for Geiswhite. I dig that thing. We got, what is that? R Speed Ranch, or Factory Speed Ranch? I can't tell. Something Speed Ranch, I believe, on the rear end of that thing. 100 grand out here in his 518. Inferno Motorsports driver. Not sure if his teammate Andy Patton is out here or not. Doesn't look like Andy's in this session with us. Let's hop over to another. Brandon Combs not on the racetrack though in that 28 machine. There you see Sam Bachman on the inside. We got Aaron Brown out here trying to rearrange the wall on 1 and 2 before we get rolling. Pull it down to the inside here. Take a little break, he says. See what's going on here in other rooms. We actually only have 2 rooms here. Let's see, because yeah, Anthony was with those guys. See, only two sessions, I believe, or maybe 3 actually. Jeff Sharp and no, those guys are all in that one. May actually only be 2 drivers in this one, Jeff Sharp and Sam Bachman. As we look a little closer. Sammy here practicing the bottom of 1 and 2. Let's see, actually, too, while we'll go back over to the main room here, and we're gonna sit here on the backstretch, and you guys won't get to see it, but I'm gonna read it off to you here. I always forget that I can look at these things, what car they're in. So we're gonna do it the old-fashioned way. If you hear me read a name off, we'll go in alphabetical order, obviously starting with Aaron Brown, then we'll go to Anthony Morano. If you hear me say the driver's name, they're in a small block, and, well, if you hear me say nothing, then they're in big blocks. But I'm getting down, and I do see a couple drivers already here in the early going, so let's read them off to you. Brandon Combs in a 358 modified. Brandon Dittmer in a 358 modified. Clay Christopherson, 358 modified. Dean Reynolds, 358 modified. Logan Wentz, 358 modified. Sam Bachman, 358 modified. Tom Ostendorf, 358 modified. And everyone else with the big blocks so far, that's what I've got according to iRacing. So they may be lying to me, I don't know. That's what we're seeing, that's what we're hearing. So far we've got 20 drivers in the session, 17 have put a time down. Let's see if we can get a shot here. No, he joined the room, but he hasn't been out on the track since I've been in here. Damian Ward, the driver of the 032, he's your point leader. Let's take a look here at the other points. They had posted that for me, and then I went over to take a look at the scheduling. And now, of course, do I see it right away? No. Found it. So Damian has a 16-point lead over the driver in the 56, Aaron Brown. Aaron Brown. Hoping Damian maybe suffers some rather unfortunate bad luck here this evening. You'd like to reel him in a little bit. Anthony Roselli and Sam Bachman tied for third with 280. So they're 20 points off the lead. Definitely not out of it yet. But as we get back to Clay Christopherson, even Clay not out of it, but 32 points here in the early going. And Damian Ward showing the dominance that he has. You don't want to let him get a little too much slack on that leash, or you're not going to be able to pull that big dog back. Damian Ward, man, I have to see what he can do. Sam Bachman going to pull it off the racetrack. Let's hop over. We got Caleb Schellenberg out there in the 91. Caleb ran very well just about a half hour ago in the 360 sprint cars. Not too sure, I mean, if we're being really honest, there's not too much that translates from the sprint cars to the modifieds, and that's why with their All-Star Series, They do that. You got to be good at everything, and it's overall round champion. Who's the best overall at dirt? And, you got guys like Gavin where he goes in his speech and he's talking about teaching those guys to run sprint cars. At the same time, they're teaching him how to run these. Gavin not setting foot here tonight. He's going to go focus on the 410s, but you always kind of have your niche, and there's rarely a driver who can hammer down both as we see Bicky out here in that '07 machine. Matt Julisay Speed Shop. Not too sure what CFM is. That's his team. I think it says Team CFM, but what it stands for. And those guys, feel free to, write it in there, fill me in, or I could have this. And, if you go back and watch these things ever, so like Caleb, he'd be the perfect example. Bicky could change some stuff. He's got his hometown, but you get on that SDK software, man, and that is all up to you to fill out. Please behave and be respectful, because it's obviously going to go over a broadcast, but you can literally put whatever you want in there, and I don't know how to edit it and change it. There is a way that I could edit it and change it if I don't like what you said, but I'm kind of not willing to do that, and, one bad apple would ruin the punch, and I would take it away, but it is neat knowing where the drivers are from, certain sponsors and stuff like that. It's a good way to get yourself some free promotion. So you head on over there to sdk.com and download their link. You got to fill it out while you're in the race car. You go into an iRacing test session and fill it out. It'll automatically read your iRacing number and everything. It fills all that in for you. You just get to fill out the fun stuff. We got another driver in here, Brian Dickens, joining us in the 122. He's not out on the racetrack yet, but Brian going to join up here. Anthony Roselli. So we've got 18, 19, 21 drivers. I believe Anthony, he was already in here. Just still hasn't set foot on the racetrack yet, but Brian Dickens pulling off in the 122. Brian should have a paint job. That's why I was kind of panicking here about my trading paints. It says it's still downloading. I don't like that. Let's try this one more time. Brian Dickens should have a beautiful pink 122 if he's running the same one. There's no way that thing shouldn't have a paint job on it. Oh, the wonders of iRacing. It's neat that they actually let a company do that, but yeah, there we go. There's the right paint. That they actually use a third-party company for their paint jobs to load up. So it's different software. It's nothing to do with iRacing. So it can be finicky sometimes getting them to try to work with each other. But for the most part, they do a pretty good job. And Brian Dickens, man, he's going to be a guy. I warned you about Brian Dittmer. Or Brandon Dittmer. I combined their names. And I'm going to warn you now, Brian Dickens, he's going to compete in the top 5 here at Kokomo. Barring a big mistake, because that 122 is quick. And you let him come out here and play. And I'm anxious to see Brian joined in late. So let's bring back up that iRacing software. Do I get to see Brian Dickens? Okay, Brian Dickens went with the 358 as well. So I kind of assumed he would. Brian likes the 358s a lot more than the big blocks. He's going to take advantage of hopefully a worn out racetrack and use a little less power in that 358 to try to work around. I'm going to mute myself here for a minute or two, crack a soda open, drink it. Or drink as much of it as I can. I'm not going to chug that thing. I need to behave myself. Oh, Chris Ferguson Motorsports. Okay. It's Matt Julisay. Just different. Matt Julisay. Just different logo. Okay. All right. So that's what the CFM is standing for. But here in about a minute, we should get ready to roll into qualifying here at Kokomo. So go pop that popcorn and get your butt right on back. There you see we got the white flag, the motor's cut off, and we're going to go into qualifying here. As we'll see who the first driver is out on the racetrack. My money would be with Joseph Grandy, and look at that. I told you. Now, if a guy named Brandon Templeton was in here, Brandon Templeton would beat him out on the racetrack. But he's not here, so you know it's going to be $100 grand. And as he rolls off the top, he's ready to take the green flag here for lap number 1. He go as low as he can in that 518. Really try to find that grip on the bottom through 1 and 2. Hits the little bit of a cushion there in the middle in 3 and 4. And so far, purple through sector 1, green sector 2. 100 grand going to be at the top of the charts with a 1273 as Dino rolls in. Lap number 2, Dean Reynolds. About 3/10 off the pace here. And remember, 100 grand probably in that big block right now. So a track not as beat up as it will be for the feature, but Grandy holds onto the pole as Dean Reynolds moves on up to P3, 4, 5 as Bachman and Combs making Geisweit and Dittmer join the party. And Sam Bachman right now at the top of the timesheet. In the 007, the Samaconda strikes again as Brandon Dittmer. He's practicing driving in reverse. You never know when you're going to lose first gear and you need to drive around in reverse. That's good practice by the driver of the 83, Brandon. I couldn't even say that without laughing. As Anthony Roselli comes around lap number 2. What can the driver of the 7 do? Anthony Roselli currently 13th. Not going to improve, and William Watson drops him down to 14th as lap number 1. Bart coming in P6. What can he do through 3 and 4? Quicker through sector 2, slower through sector 1. William Watson going to stay P6. Actually goes down to P7 as little brother Dalton DeWert P2. Damian Ward, Devin Howard, Tom Ostendorf, and Anthony Morano not putting in lap times, and Anthony Morano may actually not race here from, I think he may be adminning here this evening. Scotty Rayome got a little busy at work. Couldn't get home. Anthony tried to do both there in that sprint car race. I think did an excellent job of doing that, but going to take this one off here and just relax. Here to close it out is, well, not too sure who we got our money on in this one, who we want to keep our eye on. Sam Bachman, obviously, as always. He's quick, man, and you give him a car or a track that's a little intricate and takes a lot of skill, I think that's where he can come into play, but we'll have to see here. Sorry, my computer was being a little finicky there. I wasn't sure I was going to get my overlay to pop up again. There we go. Let's take a look at our starting grid here. Heat race number 1. For your small block, big block modifieds here. Sunday Night Madness at Kokomo. Running out the field, the big slow Devin Howard. Row 3 to the outside. Dylan Kinsey to the inside. Jeff Sharp. Row 2 to the outside. Dino to the inside. William Watson. And row number 1 for heat race number 1. To the outside, putt-putt, Clay Christopherson. To the inside, Sam Bachman. We should see that pace car dive off this time, and drivers will get ready to go play. Devin Hauer not out there on the racetrack, so not too sure what happened to the big slow. Hopefully everything's all good. Sam Bachman rolls around. He's ready to bring the field to the green flag here at the Kokomo Speedway. Heat race number 1. We're underway. There's 8 laps to play. Sam knows how important it is to start on the front row here at Kokomo, but so does his teammate behind him, William Watson, on the move early, and here comes Dean Reynolds up to the top 3. Dino ready to dance in that 79. He takes a peek under his teammate Welcome to P2 for the moment. William hammering down that top shelf in the big block. Dino taking advantage of all that room downstairs in the small block. Sam running around out front all by himself. What's it look like here off the rear end of this thing? Well, the answer is not a damn thing because he's whipping that thing in so sideways. What a terrible idea as William Watson stuck on the outside. Putt taking advantage of that small block on the inside as well. Started second, is falling as far back as fifth, but he's looking to get some work done. Jeff Sharp, though, not making it easy. He's in the middle, 3 wide, searching for any room he can find. And William hammering down that top shelf. He gets in the wall one more time. 2 laps to go this time by for your leader in the 007, Sam Bachman. Can he hold on? I'd sure like to think so. Second lead here. We only got 6 turns left to play as the white flag flies this time. Can Dino make a big move? Clay Christopherson taking a peek on his teammate in the 88, trying to get fourth as we go down the backstretch for the final time. Leader comes off of 4. Sam Bachman takes heat race number 1, followed by Dean Reynolds, Jeff Sharp, William Watson, Clay Christopherson, Dylan Kinsey in the big slow. Take a look here. Starting grid, heat race number 2. Rounding out the field in the 320, Tom Ostendorf. Row 3 to the outside, the 122 of Brian Dickens. To the inside, the 07 of Bicky, Tyler Bickford. Row 2 to the outside, the 56 of Aaron Brown. To the inside, the Spider Monkey in the 83, Brandon Dittmer. Row number 1 for heat race number 2 to the outside in the 118. Gas Money, Brandon Geiswhite. And starting on the pole, the 82, little brother, Dalton the Word. As we get ready here, we're going to go around one more time here. I think they're being nice to me. Pace laps happen pretty quick here at Kokomo, so if I don't rifle off that grid, boy, it can get pretty hectic, so we'll probably do the 2 pace laps here. And Dalton looking to carbon copy his teammate in the 007, trying to go out there and just hook up on the bottom and walk away with this thing as we roll through 3 and 4. The green flag's high. It's ready to fly. There's 8 to play in heat race number 2. Dalton with a good run there, center off, but Gas Money tries to get to the inside, and he's able to go down there and hold on to P2, but here comes the Spider Monkey trying to cling onto some grip, but Bicky, excuse me, in that 07. Tyler Bickford making it work down there, cutting the grass coming off of 4, and welcome to P3, Bicky. Tyler Bickford trying to work under Gas Money in that 18, and he gets into the side of him a little bit and stole some of that Gas Money from the 18, and he moves on up to P2 for the time being. But Geiswhite, he gets shuffled on back to 4th, possibly 5th here when all is said and done. The Spider Monkey trying to hold off the 07. All this happening off the deck lid of the 82. Dalton DeWord, man, little brother's got 3 laps to go here before he brings home a heat race win. Brandon Dittmer on the outside, 3 wide. Gas Money taking a peek back on the inside, and I'll tell you what, they got memories like elephants. Don't think that 18 forgot about that 007, and before this thing's over, don't be surprised if we see a little paint trade there between 3rd and 4th, but the white flag flies. There's one more trip around for the driver of the 82. Dalton DeWert sails it into 3 and 4 for the final time. He sees the checkered flag. He wins heat race number 2, followed by Brandon Dittmer, Tyler Bickford, Brandon Geiswhite, Aaron Brown, Brian Dickens, and not gritting Tom Ostendorf. As we take a look here at our third and final heat race starting grid, to the outside in the 032, Damian Ward, to the inside the 7 of Anthony Roselli. Row 2 to the outside, the 18 of Logan Wentz, to the inside the 91 of Caleb Schellenberg. Row 1 to the outside in the 28, the Combs Cut Machine, Brandon Combs, to the inside in the 518, 100 grand. Joseph Grandy is Damian Ward, your point leader. What do they call this in the business world? A no-call, no-show. And, oh, man. That could hurt him here at Kokomo. Definitely, I'm not going to lie to you and tell you it's the most difficult track in the world. You can pass here, especially if you can manipulate that car on the bottom, work some slide jobs. But Damian Ward just made his night a lot harder if he decides to grid for this feature. Gonna have to start at the tail end of the pack, and I guess not the tail end. We had 7 drivers in heat race 1 and 2, so you have 2 behind him, but pretty damn close to the end of that pack, and not where you want to be when you're in the points lead. As the green flag's high, it's ready to fly. There's 8 to play in heat race number 3. We're underway. Brandon Combs trying to take a peek there under that 518. Joseph Grandy goes straight to the middle. Combs trying to cut his way around the bottom, and the 28 takes a peek. Oh, slide job comes across the nose of 100 grand, and boy, oh boy, there is nothing Joseph Grandy could do about that. Just pounded out of the way, and I think Combs, he felt bad about it too. He's going to go to the outside. He lets the whole field around. Not that that's any consolation to the 518, but man, oh man, Grandy's got to find a way to wipe this one off here and try to go back to work and take the lead. He's in the middle, 3 wide. Schellenberg on the outside trying to burn the place down. Schellenberg, not a good enough run. He's got to fall in line. He's going to think about cutting underneath. Takes a peek under the 518. What's the run look like coming down the backstretch? He pulls even on the entry of 3 and 4. Looky down low. Logan Wentz trying to get to the dance here. 3 laps to go. Grandy muscles off the 2. He's got the momentum, but Schellenberg with the track position. Does he go up and use the door here? They get pretty dang close on the entry of 1, but Schellenberg plays nice for the time being. But boy, oh boy, you put these 2 under a blanket as the white flag flies here at Kokomo. Schellenberg tries to get a run here. Grandy with the momentum upstairs. Final time through 3 and 4. The 91 looking low. Checkered flag waves 100 grand. Holds on. Schellenberg P2. Roselli 3rd. Wentz 4th. Combs 5th. And Damian Ward rounds out the field. And well, we're going to stick around here, watch a little bit of warm-ups. So like I told you, they get 3 minutes to drive, 2 minutes to hang out. So we'll be right back here on Shaggy TV as we watch the drivers hit the racetrack a little bit. You see, actually, they cut it off a little early. Maybe the track a little more beat up than they would like, so they cut it off a little bit early. And well, we're going to just sit around here 2 minutes. We'll have to see. Damian Ward, he did not go out there and put a time in. And let's actually, you know what? They won't get mad at me, I don't think. I don't think anybody's wrote anything in the chat bad. Let's see here. I need to make the leaderboard disappear so I can see it on my screen. But let's find Damian Ward here. No, so he's grayed out. Ostendorf, Ward, and Howard not here. So they will not be racing. Unless they would join in this session very fast. So point leader going to be missing a night here, and man, that opens the door now. Aaron Brown, he's probably going to walk out of here, your point leader, unless Anthony Roselli or Sam Bachman could make up that gap. But it's going to be one of those three here, and we got a minute until we roll into the feature, so make sure you stick around. Refill that drink. We're going to be rolling here soon. Just under 10 seconds here. I should get our starting lineup to show up here any minute now. And I'm going to take a look at it. We'll have 16, 17. Let's see. I think 18, no, maybe just 17 drivers. Because Anthony's admitting. So we should have just 17 drivers here for the feature here this evening. Let's take a look at that starting lineup, rounding out the field there in the 122, Brian Dickens. Row 8 to the outside in the 639, Dylan Kinsey to the inside, the 28 of Brandon Combs. Row 7 to the outside, the 56 of Aaron Brown. To the inside, the 51 of Putt-Putt Clay Christopherson. Row 6 to the outside, the 18 of Logan Wentz. To the inside, the 118 of Gas Money Brandon Geiswhite. Row 5 to the outside, the 88 of William Watson. To the inside, the 7 of Anthony Roselli. Row 4 to the outside, the 07 of Bicky Tyler Bickford. To the inside, the 028 of Jeff Sharp. Row 3 to the outside, the 91 of Kalen Schellenberg. To the inside, the 083 of the Spider Monkey, Brandon Dittmer. Row 2 to the outside, the 79 of Dean Reynolds. To the inside, the 518 of 100 Grand, Joseph Grandy. Row number 1 for your expert insulation, Swan Speed Shop. Small block, big block, modified feature here at the Kokomo Speedway. On the outside, the 82 of Dalton DeWert. And starting on the pole, the 007 of the Samaconda, Sam Bachman. As we get ready to go, 50 laps here at the Kokomo Speedway. Lots of time to dance. Plenty of time for mistakes. As the green flag's high, it's ready to fly. There's 50 laps to play in the clay at Kokomo Speedway. Good run out of 1 for your leader, Sam Bachman, but the war rage is on back here, man. They're 3, almost 4 wide. Jeff Sharp in the middle here, and they got a dance party here. Going down the front stretch, we're only on lap number 1. Oh my gosh, these guys, no chill here in the early stages. Almost contact there as you see Roselli taking a peek down low, but Dalton DeWert He's got to go to work up here. He's got to try to run down your leader in the 007 as he takes a peek on the outside and he sees Dino coming. Welcome that purple machine, Barney. He's ready to play. Oh, Barney gets in the back of the 518 here, and 100 grand, man. He's going to have to watch out here. Hopefully Barney doesn't see red after that one because, man, oh man, Dino has got that top side rolling. Now he's going to take a peek here under the 518. Can't get enough of a run. You can see he's the first driver to go up to the outside. He gets up in the wall a little bit, but he gets such a head of steam going into 4. That's where you're 3. That's where he's making his money right now, and that's 79. Gas Money stuck in the middle here as he looks to the inside of the 639, but he's got Putt taking peeks underneath, and now Roselli looks to the inside and he sees Gas Money there looking underneath, and Gas Money shaking the change cup, but nobody's giving him any right now, and boy, oh boy, maybe making it work through 1 and 2, but 3 and 4 on the bottom. Just seems like drivers having no success, and Gas Money slipping back through the field as Dalton taking a peek for the lead. We're going to have a new leader at the line. I'd put money on it. Give it to the 82 at the line. You don't want to be stuck on the bottom in 3 and 4, and the 82 showing us that right now. You need to roll that middle off, and Dalton takes over the lead here. Joseph Grandy up to P2. And Sam Akonda, man, he's got to find a new tree to climb on down there because that one's all out of bark. Boy, Sam, he's just going at it. Man, you got to feel for him. He was so quick in the early stages, but when it goes away, you've got to be willing to make that change. And let's see. He's going to move up a little bit. He's got to try to get the elbows out and fight. But he's got Dean Reynolds going to the outside. Welcome Dino to the podium. 14 laps in the books this time, coming off of 4. Well, 13 technically on lap 14. The battle is still on. Joseph Grandy, man, he has been able to stay on Dalton ever since they've gotten around Sam. And now Grandy, he thought about a slide job, but he goes back up in line. And now Dino, man, he's got to be licking his lips here. He's ready to play here in that 79. This is the view Dino's got out of that rock screen. Whoa! Dino gets close to getting into that outside wall. Man, oh man. He's got a strong right rear there. We could hear it tap the wall. I thought he was going to go around. Caleb Schellenberg, he's up there dancing with the devil in 1 and 2. Look at him bringing that 91 to the party. He's got a big run coming out of these corners. Caleb Schellenberg inside the top 4. Sam staying on the bottom, and right now he's just relentless down there. Maybe it pays off in the later stages. He has a little fresher rubber than everybody else, but you just got to think with the way this race is going, it looks like you want to be on that middle top half of the racetrack. As you see all the guys coming out of the corner, you really don't see any bottom back here till you need to, other than Sam Bachman. So always different ways for different drivers to get around the racetrack, but one of them, man, is the quickest. And Super May out there saying they're going with Grandy. You can't count out the little brother in the 82, boy. I'll tell you what, he's got an older brother named DJ. And I'm an older brother. That's why I call the 82 little brother here. And you know, I mean, who doesn't want to go out and beat their brother? My little brother tried to be absolutely better than me at everything, and it probably made him better at the majority of things. And the 82 of Dalton, man, he'd love to be able to maybe send Big Brother a text message, say, hey, where were you at Kokomo? I brought home the checkered flags, man. It just wasn't the same. Not wiping the floor with you. And I'd say the 82, he's got a lot to fight for here, but 100 grand. He's always a tough task to hold off. And man, oh man, we're green the whole way, over halfway here. 25 laps in the books. Let's take a peek back here. Dylan Kinsey, he's your hard charger. He's up 8 spots in that 639. So you got a driver in the outside wall. It may have been the 122 of Brian Dickens. This race has just not gone according to the plan for the one driver of the 122. But we are under caution as, man, Gas Money had a little bit of trouble here in this 118. Let's see what happened to Brandon. Yeah, so that's what we saw happen to Dino. And I was surprised. So when I thought it was the 122, it was Brandon Geisway. He had drove away at about the same time. But that 118, you catch it on that entry to the corner. And we'll go back. We'll look at this one more time. We'll go in an aerial view here, get a little better view of it. Let's find the drone camera here. So you can see he's just already up there. He kisses it. That straightens the car up. So he's got to turn it. And when he does, the rear end just wants to come around, and there's no room. It just sucks right back up in the wall, and he can't get that thing to do anything. And see a couple other drivers get caught up in it. Nothing too bad. The 118 of Geisway goes for a ride there in 1 and 2. See, drivers going double file here. Should be getting ready to go back racing here at the Kokomo Speedway. We'll have 24 laps to play. Dalton with a good jump here. He's able to slide up in front of 100 grand. What's the battle going to look like through 1 and 2? Oh, Caleb Schellenberg, look at this. Oh, power move on the outside of 1 and 2. Thinks about a slide jump. Oh, he moves Grandy up and out of the road. And Caleb Schellenberger on up to P2. Welcome to 91, and he has got a hot rod, boy. Dino, he's ready to dance. He's going to try to follow the 91. Schellenberg making a move for the lead here with 22 laps to go. On the outside, what's the run going to look like? It's going to look damn good. New leader off of 4, Caleb Schellenberg to the front. Dean Reynolds up on the top shelf. He's trying to follow that 91 around. But remember, Dean in a small block. I think, oh man, I can't remember if I read you off Caleb being in a big block or a small block or not. So, well, we're just going to have to try to remember. Maybe one of you can remember for me. But Caleb, man, he is burning down that outside wall right now. And I've got to look at this thing. Caleb Schellenberger, I've got to look. You're seeing the action, not me. Caleb in a big block. Caleb is in a big block. So he's taking advantage of that power, working the outside. That's right. In our interview with him, he said he would go with a big block. He likes the power on the top shelf, and I don't think he really will think about anything else. And, doing a good job of keeping pace in the small block, but man, oh man, it's going to be a tough task if that 79 wants to find a way around. 16 laps to go. You see him running almost 3 wide here in the back. I believe that was Bicky. Yeah, that red machine. Or no, that's Dittmer. The 83 in the red machine. Bicky on the bottom in that 07. Logan Wentz getting in there in the mix as well. But Brandon Dittmer, another one night just not going according to plan. But Brian Dickens, he's gotten on the horse here a little bit. It's almost up inside the top 10. Brian Dickens on the move here in the late stages of the race. William Watson started 10th. He's got the 88 up to 5th. And we mentioned him once before. Dylan Kinsey, that hard charger. He's up 10 spots now. Started 16th. Up to 6th. Dylan would love to get that 639 in the top 5. Oh, but he gets in the outside wall. He gets in the outside wall hard. Dylan able to keep it rolling. But boy, oh boy, I don't know how that right front didn't break there. Hard contact with the wall. Schellenberg got that lead up to over a second here with 11 laps to go. As Dean looks up in the rearview mirror and the 82's getting a little bigger every lap. Dalton starting to reel back in the 79. He's using the slider line through 3 and 4 this time and just didn't seem to work. Didn't have the grip coming off the exit. And I think, maybe just thinking ahead, hey, how will I be able to get by Dean if I get at him? And now you see right back in the tire tracks of the 79. But it's one of those things that, you can catch a guy. That's one thing. Passing him's another. And Dalton's going to find that out here the closer he gets to the 79 is William. He's had a case of that here these last couple laps all over the back of the 518 of Joseph Grandy. Just can't find a way around. Sam Bachman, Anthony Roselli battling hard here for 9th and 10th. Roselli on the top, Bachman on the inside, and Clay Christopherson 11th on the outside looking in at the moment. Schellenberg coming across the stripe here. 6 laps to go for the 91. Finished P2 in the 360s. Would love to bring home a win here, and drivers are running out of time. In fact, they're going to start battling behind him. So Caleb, he needs this thing to stay green, and he needs to keep his eyes glued out of that windshield because these guys are going to take care of the battle for the lead between themselves. They're going to go hard for P2. Little brother slide job. The old timer, Barney, in the 79. Dino, he gets back in front here with 4 to go. And man, oh man, this is the battle in the racetrack here at the moment. Dalton trying to set Dino up. Does he look to the inside? No, he stays up top. 3 laps to go here. Caleb Schellenberg on the outside through 3 and 4. He sees 2 fingers in the air. You know what that means? 2 more trips around. Dalton with a slide job. Dino cuts back underneath, going down the backstretch. These guys going tooth and nail for P2. Dalton's got the advantage on the high side. White flag waves 1 more trip around for this man. Caleb Schellenberg started 6th, looking to finish 1st. Final top through 3 and 4. Checkered flag waves for the driver of the 91. Caleb Schellenberg brings it home. Dalton to work P2. Dean Reynolds rounds out your podium. Joseph Grandy 4th, and Dylan Kinsey. Your top 5 is Schellenberg. Does a little donut coming off of 4. Congratulations to the driver of the 91. Takes that power in the big block and just absolutely burns the house down up top. Huge run there for the driver of the 91. He parks it on that top step. Congratulations to Caleb Schellenberg. As we go, we'll give these guys a minute or 2 here to catch their breath. Not a lot of cautions there, if I believe only that one caution. It's hard for me to tell when there's so much passing going on, which is great for you guys. There was amazing racing. Pretty sure, yeah, just the one caution in that 50 laps, man. Give it to these guys. It just says everything about them, man. To go out here 50 laps around this place, 1 caution flag, boy, oh boy, you can't ask for much more than that. Let's see here if we can bring up the man who finished P3, Dino. Boy, oh boy, man, you and Dylan, you guys were having some fun out there those last couple of laps. Talk to us about it.
Well, that was Dalton, but we'll forgive you, Shaggy.
Yeah, Dylan, I knew that. Or Dalton, I knew that.
Yeah, that was an all.
I called him Dalton all night. I
promise. I don't know if my tires went a little bit or I was just missing my marks a little bit, but but when you run behind, you can also find some better lines, and I wasn't really going to abandon my line. And when he threw that first bomb, I knew I got a good run coming off 2, so I could throw it back at him. And actually, that's where I do look in the mirror, and I got ahead of him going into 3 without even trying to throw a slider. But then the second one, when he got me, I'm like, I didn't come off. I spun a little bit, and I said, you know what? Let me try the bottom here in the last couple laps, see if that sticks where I can sneak back by him, because I'm not going to get him once he's by me running the same groove. And it wasn't there. But you know what? I'll take a 3rd with this field. I was a little bummed about the first race. When it comes to sprint cars, I salivate with the sprint cars, and I really wanted a podium there. But I wasn't even supposed to run. I was working a trade show today, and we loaded up early. Half hour early. We broke down, and I got home 2 minutes before we went qualifying. I only did 2 practice laps, and then they had that scoring snafu, and me and Jeff Barker had to go back to the back again and pass all the same cars. But that was fun there. And then I'll tell you what, Scotty was in our race control, and he goes, Dean finishing 3rd here behind Dalton and Shelley. I didn't have that on my bingo card. So
No, if I'm being honest, I didn't either, Dino. And especially the way you did it. I saw you pick the small block where you maybe regretting that there when we were on the outside towards the end.
absolutely not. Absolutely not. That as soon as I got into practice and everything, I was glad I was in a small block. I don't know what Dalton and Shelley were running, but I went with a small block. I geared it tall. I was hitting the chip pretty good, but I was able to come off with those guys, and I know I can run the top really aggressive with a small block. With a big block, I have a tendency to go into turn one too hard, hit the right rear on the wall, then your right front hits, then you push, then you lose momentum coming out. And I said, no, I'm going to stay with a 358, and I'm glad I did. That was the car for me at this track.
Yeah, man. It seemed like it paid off for you. I know Shelley, he went with the big block. Not too sure about Dalton. I can't remember. I'll have to ask him when he comes up here. But I know Shelley went with the big block. But, man, at the end of the day, you're able to bring this thing up on the podium. And, man, you had a lot of fun doing it. You guys were the show those last 6 or 7 laps. That's for sure, man. Lots of fun watching that battle. Congratulations on a good run, Dino. Who you want to thank?
Well, I got to thank you, Shaggy, for doing the FTM League, both the All Star and the and here with the Big Block Sunday Night Madness. I think we got a good little league going here. We got some good competitive drivers, good clean racing. When's the last time you had one yellow at Kokomo with all out racing?
Yeah, in 50 laps. That's crazy.
Yeah. I mean, yes, I'll say thank you to the teammates, but all the other guys that are visiting us, thank you. I hope you're enjoying yourselves racing with us. Yeah, not many times you get one caution at Kokomo, and I had 2 grooves out there. You know me, I run the top. I'm more of a top guy, and that's where I'm going to go. But there was cars all over the place. So, but first, thank to you, Expert Insulation, for their money. If it wasn't for Luke Hines, we wouldn't have the you here broadcasting, so we can bring it to our families. Swan Speed Shop. I'll say it again. That is a base Swan set that we gave to the people at Coast to Coast, and that's what we run. And most of us, I know Sam does, I do. I ran it. I didn't change a damn thing except I threw a 644 gear at it and let her eat. So, Swanee, thank you, sir, for dialing this old guy in. And thank everyone else. Congratulations to Shelley on his win, and awesome second place for Dalton. And this is awesome. I'll take it. I was going in thinking the All-Star might be my strong point, and I had an 18th place finish there with the first deal, because open set big block's really not my forte. I know I ran a 358 here, but we're getting some good finishes. So we'll let it run, and if I can get 2 top 5s out of these deals and season-ending points, I'll take that and go home, and we'll give it a smile.
Well, hey, Dino, not to steal the moment from you here towards the end, but did we get any word on what maybe happened with Damien there?
Don't know. I did not get a message from him. He came in, never did a lap, and then he left. And I don't know if he messaged anybody else, but he didn't say anything. He didn't mic up or anything, so we have no idea.
Well, we get one drop week, right?
Yes, you do. And, God damn it, I want him to bring the smoke. I want him to.
Yeah, I know, man.
I want to pass that SLB.
Yeah, no, I mean, like I say, this is no Damien, this is no shot at you, but you're the Blake Chapman to me, and you're the guy that I want to be when you're out on that racetrack. You want the best guy out there. So
absolutely,
it's not that this was a great race. Don't get me wrong, you guys did awesome, but how much more it means, Dino, if you could get on the podium in front of the driver of that 32.
Well, I mean, with the leagues that we run, Shaggy, it's in Coast to Coast there for a while. It was beating Isaac. I still have not gone around the outside and beat Isaac for a win. I've beaten Isaac for wins, but I haven't done it passing him. And that's going to be a goal. There's a couple I did get Morano, but that's few and far between. That's like 2 out of 100. But, I got those under my belt. And then in the sprint cars, I want to beat Spangler. Patrick is my mentor. I mean, you got Blake as well, but, I think Patrick still is that guy to beat in the sprint car. So I want him. And then, here we said it opening night. It's Damien Ward. Damien Ward is a pro caliber driver in a big block. If they ever had such a league, he would be one, and he's the guy to beat. So you got to give yourself, things to shoot for. If you don't, you're not gonna try to gain anything on your talent.
No, you're exactly right, Dino. Hopefully we see him back next week. But if not, man, we still got a great field of drivers, and you guys put on some amazing racing. Can't wait to talk to you again here soon, man. Congratulations tonight.
Thanks, brother, and thank you again for doing it, and thanks to my FTM mates.
Dean Reynolds bringing home P3, and now we're going to bring up the man who brought home P2, Dalton DeWert. Dalton, boy, oh boy, man. First off, I couldn't remember. I went down the list, but did we go with a small block or a big block here this evening?
No, one with a big block.
Okay, so see, big blocks then finished first and second. And do you think at the end, now obviously, you know, it is all about throttle control, but do you think that helped you power your way around that 79?
Yeah, I mean, especially on the top. I kind of regret not going to the top after the restart. I was kind of rolling in the middle there, just saving. Like like my car felt brand new the whole damn race. 358s were definitely dominant. I think early on for like heats, warm up, and shortly in the beginning of the race, because I know Sam was in a 358 and I was struggling to keep up with him there in the middle bottom. But after it slicked off, the move to the top, the big blocks kind of showed. I'm glad with the choice we picked. I think if we went with a 358, I don't think we would have been where we were, even to try to regain back up to the front for sure.
No, I'm right there with you. I didn't know that there was going to be that much of a discrepancy, but in that final restart, that 91, dude, he shot out of the top like a cannon, and I expected the big blocks to kind of come on. I couldn't really tell if you were in one at first, but you know the drill, man. You're catching Dino at the end of the straightaways. You got to try to play nice, where you just trying to set him up there for that perfect slide job opportunity.
Yeah, I was just kind of gauging him. I moved up a line from him in 3 and 4, and that line I found was absolute rocket ship. So I figured I'd set him up in 1 and 2, because I don't want to set him up in 1 and 2 in case we were coming to the white. I can get the cut down on 3 and 4 to get a faster exit to hopefully to get second. But we did it a little earlier than I wanted to, and it worked out. It goes back to that restart, man. I think if I would have been a little more aggressive than I was and just went to the top when I knew I should have, I think we could have won that race. But I just stuck middle and come up to the top when I had some room, and it was just too late.
Well, man, after the tough break last week, I believe I think we advanced this thing while you were gone, if I remember that correctly. So you kind of missed out on that one. You're able to get back here and park this thing P2, man, right where you belong. I know you want that top step, but man, oh man, with runs like this, Dalton, you know it's coming, brother. Hell of a job tonight. Who you want to thank?
Hey, man, I got to appreciate and thank you for taking time out of your night to host this event and audit this event, and appreciate that. And I got to thank my brother, Dean at Super Dark Car Series, Full Throttle Motorsports, Gunnar at Swan Speed Shop, Do Pro Performance, and everybody for coming out.
Oh, yeah. Now, Dalton, I haven't screwed up the last 2 weeks by calling you little brother, have I? You're the little brother?
Oh, yeah, about 12 years.
Oh, man. Oh, dude, so that's almost the same. Me and my brother are 10 years apart. Now, I'm not calling you an accident, but my brother was definitely an accident. I remember the fight.
Buddy,
like
I'm an accident, too. I was like,
go.
Here I am. Yeah, I'm 23 and he's 35, so...
Yeah, dude, that's like basically the same gap between me and my brother. That's hilarious. Well, congratulations, Dalton. Good run, man. And I guarantee you this ain't the last time I'm talking to you this season. Good luck the rest of the way.
Hopefully not, Shag. I appreciate it, man. Thanks.
Dalton DeWert bringing home P2. And now we're going to bring up Shelly here, talking to him again. Caleb, you said in the interview there was no chance you were going to go with that small block. And I'll tell you what, man, game-winning move. You shot out of a cannon on that last restart. How you feeling?
Man, pretty good. I knew this was a track. If we got a caution, you got to be aggressive. It's really the only way to solidify some moves, because the track's so wide. It's hard to throw a slider and keep it there. Man, I don't know. I just stayed at the top the whole entire time. There was never a doubt that it was just going to be through the middle or whatever. I knew I could make it work somehow, some way. So just sent it, kept it out of the wall as much as I could, even though every other lap I'd stuff it in there. And yeah, sorry to Grandy. I know I gave him a little bit of an elbow there. I just kept hitting the bumps and boom, boom, boom right into him. But I'm glad it didn't kill him or anything. He was still good. But yeah, man, good race to everybody. That was fun.
No, yeah, I mean, every now and then you're going to make a little bit of contact. But at the end of the day, when you get around him, you kind of showed everybody the blueprint, dude, just to beat the hell out of that outside, and that's where the speed was at the end. Were you surprised when you finally got the P2 that Dalton left the top shelf open? Because I don't know if you knew this. He was in a big block too, Caleb.
Like I told him before I come in here, I was confused why he was ever down low anyway, because back in the day, me and him used to just beat the top together, and that was our bread and butter. So I was surprised to see him even in the middle of there. But yeah, especially when I got to second there, I figured he would have tried to move up as quick as he could, but he left me a lane, and there it went.
Well, man, not easy tonight. 50 laps around this place and one caution, dude. I know quick laps, but this place is technical. You're right up against the wall. How tiring is this thing, man? You feeling it?
Oh yeah, for sure. When I heard my spotter say 20 to go, I was like, oh my God, get this thing over with. I'm tired of hitting the damn wall.
Yeah, no kidding, man. I know, maybe you want to get this thing over in one shot, but at the end of the day, that caution flag give you a hell of a shot, and man, it helped you move from 6th up to the win. Heck of a job, Shelly. 2 podiums tonight. Only driver to do that here this evening, and man, there are a lot of good leagues out there, but there's a lot of talent in here. So a double podium, that's nothing to not write home about. That's a hell of a job. Congratulations. Who you want to thank, man?
All the guys at FTM again for putting this on, and you for broadcasting. I forgot to thank Expert Insulation as well. That's about it, really. Good points tonight.
Yeah, man, no kidding. And I can't exactly do the math. I don't know. Aaron finished back there a little bit, but you came in tied for 8th, and with this win and Damian missing a night here, you might climb yourself up into the top 5. So we'll have to see when they update this. But hell of a job, Shelly. Look forward to a lot more of these, man. Congratulations.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Caleb Schellenberger takes home the checkered flag here at the Kokomo Speedway. And, man, it was a good one. 1 caution flag in 50 laps. These boys, every single week, they set the bar higher. They're bound to disappoint us one week, but, man, we haven't seen it yet. Damn good racing every single time. Big shout out to Expert Insulation and Swan Speed Shop for coming on and helping out with the sponsorship this year. Well, basically, I think Expert Insulation, the sponsorship, and Swan Speed Shop giving us these awesome setups that are making every single driver out here competitive. So, huge shout out to them for coming on board and doing that. But I'm Zach Chapman here, signing off. Giving a big thank you from everyone here at FTM. Thank you for tuning in. Make sure you hit that like button. Hit that subscribe button. We'll be back live next Sunday, 4:30 Eastern here on Shaggy TV. Have a good evening.